Okay, now you can restart. I'm gonna mute myself now.
Okay. Hi, I'm Dr. Kathy Owens-Oliver, CEO of Educational Effectiveness Group. I like to think of myself as your resident thought partner and leadership effectiveness coach. I want to speak with you briefly about leading without abandoning your pursuits, your passion, and your promises. Part of our work as women in leadership requires us to give so much of ourselves to so many different pieces and so many different people. And a lot of times that will take our attention away from our top priorities. But if you could just remember the value of your pursuits, your passion, and your promises, then that will help you to realign and keep everything in line with what it is that you want to get done in the time that you've been assigned with the people you've been assigned to. When we think about our passion, it's not just things that we enjoy, things that we like to do. Our passion is that inner drive. I call it knowing in your knower. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is who I'm supposed to be doing it with. And this is why I need to get it done. And the stirring of that passion is what helps to keep you focused. But just know as a leader that everything around you tries to interrupt that, tries to interfere with that focus on that passion, tries to keep you from keeping that passion at the center of who you are, what you do, and at the core of all your really great work. So let nothing, even open doors, distract you away from that inner drive to do what it is you were born to do. And I'm not just talking about purpose, because sometimes purpose is relevant to the circumstances or the task at hand, and that is important. But we as women in leadership have to multitask. And so, whatever the purpose is in the moment, and whatever it is that we're purposed to be at that time for certain people, just becomes a part of who we are. But the passion that you've had since you were a little girl for that thing, whatever that thing is a driver, and you have to let it keep you centered and moving in the right direction. The second thing that I don't want you to forget are your pursuits. Your pursuits. There are so many goals and objectives, personal desires and intentions that you have set for yourself and for the others around you. And it's important that you accomplish those pursuits in ways that help you to be both successful and effective. It's not just a matter of getting it done, it's ensuring that you get it done well and that you're still well when it is accomplished. It's like pouring out a part of yourself in ways that perhaps you haven't even imagined. But those pursuits that you have are not just for what you want to gain, they're for what you have to offer someone else. So be very intentional, be very thoughtful about what it is that you're going to get done and all the people that you've been assigned to serve. When I talk about pursuit, I always caution people about attachments, because there are times in our lives as women who lead where we will attach ourselves to the wrong concepts, the wrong ideas, the wrong team, or we will allow the wrong people to attach themselves to us. And that not only hinders what you want to do, but it hinders how you get it done and the impact that you make. You have your own intrinsic objectives that keep you grounded and help you sleep at night. When I lay my head on the pillow every night, I want to feel good about what I did that day, who I served, the impact I was able to make in someone's life. And all of that is encompassed in my pursuits, my goals, and my intentions. So here again, you have to make sure that the wrong attachments are not distracting you from getting that pursuit accomplished, for going after what it is that really belongs to you. I've worked in corporate America. I've worked in the nonprofit sector. I've started my own business. I've helped other entrepreneurs, edupreneurs, business owners. And I have to tell you, one of the things we have in common as women is rethinking, should I have done it that way? Is that the right group to work with? Is there a better way that it could have been done? That second guessing thing, I mean, that started all the way back in the beginning, if you know what I mean. But don't second guess yourself. When the driver of your passion allows you to have laser and bullseye focus on what you need to get done, then put your pursuits in perspective and go after them with everything you've got. And you may have to shake off some people, places, and things, but you're keeping the end in mind, beginning with the end in mind, being very sure about what it is that you're going after and how it's going to help not only you, but someone else. The last thing that I believe is really important for us to keep in mind are our promises. We as women in leadership make a lot of promises. We are asked to make promises. Remember in our childhoods when we had friends who would ask us to do something and we would say, "Do you promise?" Or we would ask our parents for something and we would say, "Do you promise?" We wanted to get that guarantee or that assurance that the things we desire and have asked for and the promises and commitments that were made to us are held up, are followed through. That's the kind of person that we have to be. And if I could just be transparent and tell you, one of the greatest challenges in my work, in my ministry, in my relationships, in mentoring others, is making sure that the promises I've made don't compete with promises other people want me to make. And that, of course, is also directly related to our passions and our pursuits. I made some promises to myself as a young girl growing up in North Carolina that I would get to a place in my life where I could take care of some other family members, where I could really be there for my mother when she became elderly. I made promises to myself as a thinker, as a young student, as a little girl with big dreams. I made some promises to myself. I made promises to my family. I made promises to my community about the difference that I was going to make, how I was going to be different, how I was going to affect change, how I was going to be a change agent and a game changer, not only in the education world, but in other things that I had aspired to be a part of. And there have been so many things in my life that have intended to interfere with me keeping my promises. But I believe that word is bond. If I say that I'm going to do it, I really set out to get it done. When I tell someone you can count on me, I'll be there for you, then I want to keep my word. I want to keep my promise because I expect others to do the same for me. What you will find in this journey, and I love to talk to women leaders about their journey story, what you will find in this journey is that there is always something happening every day that creates a little turbulence among your passion, your pursuits, and your promises. And it is your responsibility to keep those things in alignment because at the end of the day, you want to ask yourself, am I who I'm supposed to be? Have I done what I said I was going to do? Was I there for the person to whom I made a promise that I would be there? The world has moved so fast with technology and all of the changes happening in our environment and in the economy that we have to a lot of times put things on hold or put people on the back burner. But don't let that keep you from making your promises. When you got married, you made a promise that that spouse would be able to count on you. When you had children, you made a promise that you would be there, that you would protect them and take care of them and look out for them. When you were assigned to that leadership position, when you accepted that role in the organization, when you signed your name on the paperwork for the small business that you're in charge of, you made a promise. You may not realize it. You may not keep that at the forefront of your mind, but you made a promise that you were going to make a difference, that you were going to not just make a splash in the world, but make waves, that you were going to help turn things around for the good, for the better, for the service of someone else. Don't let schedules and to-do lists and projects and even new ideas and strategies cause you to not follow through on the promises that you've made. Now, I know we've all heard that, we can have it all as women and as women in leadership, but of course, we also know we can't have it all at the same time. And that's part of the value of keeping these things in alignment. Just think of it as P3: your pursuits, your passion, your promises. Your passion, your promises, your pursuits. Your promises, your passion, your pursuits. Keep the P3 in perspective every day. Make it just a part of how you operate and ask yourself this request, this task, this new idea or invitation to be and join and do, how does it align with my passion, that driver on the inside? How does it align with my pursuits, the objectives and plans that I have in place and things I know I have to accomplish? How does it align with the promises that I have made to myself, to my family, and to the people I've been assigned to serve? This may not necessarily be new information to you. You just may not have heard it put together the way I've put it together, but I've had a chance to reflect on my journey story. I've worked in 46 of 50 different states, coaching and leading and advising and consulting. I've lived in 6 different states, traveling with corporate America and the nonprofit sector. I've traveled across Canada and other areas, working with other leaders around effectiveness, because I've found that a lot of us are very efficient. We do a lot of things and we do things well, or we do things right, as we would say. And that's a really good level of productivity and efficiency. That's a really good level of productivity and efficiency. But we want to move from efficiency to a level of effectiveness. And we can't do that without assessing what difference does it make. I call it the so what question. I traveled to all of these states, so what? I've coached all of these people, so what? I've worked in these different environments, so what? I'm a mom, so what? I'm a wife, so what? I'm a grandmother, so what? I'm a business owner, so what? I'm a caretaker, so what? I'm a cake maker, so what? Whatever it is, what difference do you make? How are people's lives impacted and changed when you're gone? When they have had an opportunity to experience what it is that you do, who it is that you are, and what you are becoming, what difference have you made? Has it been effective? See, that's the question you really want to ask yourself as you're looking at your goals and objectives, as you're thinking about your personal plans and pursuits, as you're reevaluating and reassessing what your passions are, where they really come from. That's what you have to ask yourself: what difference does it make? And that's why we have to keep our promises as leaders and not let all the competing factors and matters of life interfere with us getting done what it is that we're really called to do. So you can be an effective leader without abandoning, compromising, and minimizing your passion, your pursuits, and your promises. Hey, do what you're supposed to do. Do what you've been called to do. Do what you are born to do. Do it well, do it effectively, and keep your promises. Okay, that's it.
Thank you.